welcome to the Box Score, sponsored by Carthage Safeway and Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins. And Jeff, January's over. It's in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Only a couple district games left for most people, unless you had some snow outs or whatever the case may be. But, you know, we're getting down to real close, a week and a half away from the regular season being over.
It's hard to believe that it wasn't that long ago we were talking basketball, and now it's almost over, and the second season will be starting in a couple of weeks.
You know, people don't really remember what you did in the regular season. You could go 25-0, but if you wind up losing in the district or region tournament, you know, basketball is a tournament game, and that's what people remember. Yeah, you may get signature wins, you may beat a state-ranked team or something like that, but most of the time, how you do in the tournament, whether you get to the state tournament, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's almost like the old "what have you done for me lately?"
Right.
You know, how that ends, and it kind of reminds me of the White County team about 7 years ago, 31-0 in the regular season.
Right.
Unfortunately, got put out in the region semifinals, and there was no more basketball. That was the only game that they lost all year.
You know, you look a lot of teams, you get a double elimination chance. You don't in football, you don't in basketball, but you know, you look at the baseball state tournament. You know, it's double elimination, and you know, unfortunately, you don't. But you know, people remember what you do exactly when it comes to the tournament. And speaking of tournament, we were fortunate enough to cover the Smith County Elementary tournament, and let's go ahead and look at some scores. The girls constellation, the Smith County Middle girls beat Forks River 43-17 to get third place honors. A very highly entertaining game. Gordonsville boys and Smith County Middle. Gordonsville boys was up pretty good, double figures, and then Smith County Middle makes a run, actually retakes the lead there in the fourth quarter. We thought, well, you know, this is going to be going bucket for bucket, but Gordonsville gets a couple big shots from Jude Summers, and they wound up winning it 52-46. The girls' championship defeated, who were undefeated during the regular season, gets the win over Gordonsville. Gordonsville, a very young team, Jeff, and you know, they're 6th and 7th graders, and you know, defeated a predominantly 8th grade squad. Earlier in the day, they had a very emotional win, 30-29 over Southside out of Reagan, Tennessee, out in Henderson County, to win the James C. Hale Class A Division state tournament. A reverse layup at the buzzer by Emory Jones gives the defeated Lady Braves the state championship. That was about 1:15, 1:30. So then they turn around and play at 7. And you could tell they were leg weary. But, you know, give Gordonsville credit. Jake Dillard's squad battled. You know, they had that down to about a 4-point game. And they had, 2 or 3 2-point shots and a 3-point shot that could have really cinched that up in the fourth quarter, but defeated winds up getting the victory.
And if Gordonsville had pulled that off, can you imagine how dangerous they would be for the next couple of years at least coming up?
Yeah, they've got some talent definitely coming up. Some 5th, 6th, and 7th graders. There's only about one 8th grader that plays for Gordonsville. Defeated boys rebounds from their first loss of the year. Defeated girls, I think, wound up about 22-1. Their only loss, or 21-1, something like that. Their only loss was to Watertown over in the DeKalb West tournament. Defeated boys rebound from their first defeat of the year when they lost earlier in the day to Pickett County, a team that they had beaten handily twice at Byrdstown by 30 and at defeated back on December the 10th and December the 15th. They beat them by 16 after being a real close first half. But then Pickett County gets revenge in that game, wins the state championship. James C. Hale defeated, just like their girls, have to turn around and play at 8 that night. Forks River made a great run. Forks River, a team now that has lost to defeated during the regular season. They lost to them in the finals of the Forks River tournament. They lost to them 41-39 in the James C. Hill semifinals and had a 3 close to the end of that game to go ahead. And then they made a huge run, got the lead down to 2 or 4, and had shots to get even closer, but couldn't get them to go, and then defeated, revved it back up and got the big 52-41 win. A very entertaining game. But what I loved about that, I know Justin, if he could speak to this, the atmosphere at Bill Landers Gym was tremendous. Jeff, you were there for the semifinals. It was a great place to host a tournament. I hope they continue to have it there. It's a neutral court for everybody. There's enough seats for everybody. Now, the parking's not great, I'll give you that, but still, these communities turned out great, and there was just huge crowds, and it was just, roaring back and forth, and really what the county tournament ought to be. Josh Agee actually did the DTC TV games with me, and he said, I've never been to this tournament. He says, but I'm coming back. Even if I don't do DTC TV, I'm coming back. That atmosphere is that great.
Those community tournaments, and that's, you're looking at kind of the future of what's coming up for the high schools. But you gotta love, you've got parents, you got fans that are passionate about their communities and how they get behind them. And congratulations to the defeated squads. You and I talked about the defeated Fort Rivers would be a good game, and it turned out to be a good one. And defeated in Gordonsville wound up being a good game. Gordonsville almost pulling the upset on that one.
Let's go to the games first that we covered. Smith County and Cannon County. Cannon County gets the big win over Smith County, who struggled offensively. Errol Halton, as she is known, 16 points. Bella Pelham and Jenna Bush with 10 each as they sweep the season series. Then let's look at Smith County boys. Comes back in the second half after being down 24-10. They win it 56-49 over Cannon County to sweep the season series. They won that game at home by 43, shot 65%. Clayton Rigsby, 20 points. 6 steals, Peyton Hicks with 12 points, Theo Winters with 14, Antonio Jones with 13. Theo Winters had 11 in the first quarter as Cannon ran out to a 12-point lead after one, led by 24-10. Smith County went to the little three-quarter court 2-2-1 press and really had success. We'll talk with Trey Sanders a little bit later in the show. Looking at the other game that was covered was the DeKalb County-Smith County game. On the girls' side, that game in Smithville, Madison Martin, who had not really gone that nuts on the offensive end, she went bonkers. 19 points, 3 3-pointers. She was the difference in that ball game. Ella Van Branken was 16. Smith County led by Addison Hawkins with a career high of 29 points. Her career high before that was in her freshman campaign in the game at Gordonsville, and she's a senior now.
A good win for DeKalb. You and I have talked, and when Ella's got some help, because Ella's got a big target on her back all the time. But Madison having a great game when the other girls start stepping up, and that gives Dan Branken a chance to do what she needs to do. DeKalb's going to be successful, and they got it the other night against Smith County.
Of course, they've still got people hurt. They're waiting to get everybody back on board, and I think once they do that, they'll be playing a lot better basketball. Let's look at the boys, where Smith County gets out to the lead in the first half by 8. Taylor Lane Dickerson hits the first quarter threes, and then comes back and scores the final 12 points of the third quarter when Smith County goes on a 13-0 run to really flip that game from a 5-point deficit to an 8-point lead. Then they spread the floor, and Matthew Sinclair was spectacular. Final quarter, had 6 or 8 points and 4 or 5 assists, ran the team well, and they milked clock and win it 70-58. Connor Close with 13. Did struggle shooting the ball that night. Robert Wheeler with 12 for DeKalb, who is a team that you really can't figure out. They beat Livingston on Friday night at home, and then they lose to Smith County by 12 at home.
Yeah, that's unusual to figure out, but you know what? Smith County playing some good ball lately. Peyton Hicks is back in the lineup. They're getting some guys back, and I know you mentioned that we're going to be talking with Coach Sanders. I know he's got to feel good about how the way they're playing.
Let's go to the Sonica Carthage girls scoreboard. Van Buren gets the narrow win over Gordonsville. In fact, that game was a 2-point game. Gordonsville had a shot late but missed it and couldn't get over the hump. And, Gordonsville's lost 9 or 10 in a row, but they were right there with the Lady Eagles. Clark Range beats Red Boiling by 7. We thought that would be a close matchup, and it was. Cumberland County over Pickett by 5, and then Clay County beats the Tennessee Heat by 16. Other scores, Sonica Carthage on Monday, Jackson County at home beats Gordonsville 52-42. Then on Tuesday night, we had a couple of games postponed. Red Barn Springs at Pickett, big district games there. They'll be playing on February the 9th, and then Clay County at Clark Range, they'll be playing on February the 4th. Looking at the standings of District 7A, it looks like Clay County in the driver's seat there. They're at 6-0. Clark Range second at 4-2. In all likelihood, just because there's only one district game for a lot of people and two for others, you're looking at what's probably, that 3-4 could change. Gordonsville's kind of locked into fifth there, but right now we'll just have to see, because I know Pickett has still got Gordonsville left. So they may wind up being a tie for third there with Red Bowling and Pickett.
That could be, and Clay County's got back-to-back district games, so they got a chance to lock up that top spot. Only need to win one out of the next two.
They just got to beat Gordonsville at home on Friday night, and they'll be the regular season champion. And of course, they would play the winner of 4 seed, whoever that is, against Gordonsville, who will be playing on Tuesday, February 14th, and we will have that game for you on DTC TV at Gainsboro at Jackson County High School, where the district tournament in 7A is held. Gordonsville boys holds on, beats Van Buren 77-73. Red Bowling Springs a big win against Clark Range. We thought Red Bowling was getting better. That's finally kept off. I think that was only their second win of the year. You better watch out for them come district tournament time, because they played a lot of people close. Pickett County gets the win over Cumberland County, and Clay County, over a good Tennessee Heat teams, wins by 9. Let's go ahead and look at some more scores. Jackson County holds Gordonsville down. I mean, Jackson County, they play that 2-3 zone. They've got Jordan Arroyo back. So, they just love to pack it in, play it possession by possession, and that seems to be their MO. And they get a big win over Gordonsville, who's up to number 5 at the last Class A rankings that I saw.
And could that be a region semifinal matchup?
No, because Jackson County is in Smith County's.
Oh, Smith County region.
Is in Smith County's region. They're in 5AA. Is Jackson County. They used to be single A. Red Bowling Springs at Pickett postponed. Clay County at Clark Range postponed. Let's look at the standings. Clay County sitting on top there at 6-0. If they can get a win against Gordonsville on Friday night, they would be the regular season champion. Gordonsville is going to be no worse than second. Pickett sitting there at 2-3. I guess the only way Pickett would have to win at Gordonsville next week and win out, and then hope that Gordonsville lost to Clay, which could make a 2-way tie for second place, depending. Clark Range sitting there at 1-5, Red Bowling at 1-6 as they have split with each other. We'll look at action from District 6AA and 7 AAA when we return to the box score, sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
Life moves fast, and that means all of your technology should too. DTC is proud to be your local technology partner, helping you connect what matters most, no matter where you are or what you do.
Realize your inner superhero with faster internet from DTC. Get a $50 bill credit when you sign up or upgrade your internet. We're talking unlimited plans with speeds up to 1 gig.
DTC Communications, connecting what matters most.
And welcome back to the Box Score, brought to you each and every week. Our title sponsor, Carthage Safeway. We want to thank Todd and Ansel. Go by and see them out on Dixon Springs Highway. They got a great selection of meat. I'm telling you, that rotisserie that they've got, it's got pork, beef, everything on it. Go by and see them, and they'll fix your supper for you any night.
Really? Okay.
Well, single guy like me can tell you that.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have to. You don't have to twist my arm too much to get me over there.
Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage girls scoreboard. Looking at Cannon County at home, a big win over Smith County, 53-26. Very balanced effort by Coach Ashley Patrick's team that night. Westmoreland at home beats Watertown 48-19. Looking on Monday night, DeKalb County at home beats Smith County 67-56. Smith County only averaged about 32, 33 points a game. They've lost 9 of the last 10, but at least against DeKalb, they're getting up to 56. I think, they're going to have some scoring punch if they're going to make any kind of postseason run. Of course, they've lost now 9 out of 10. Their offense has kind of been their bugaboo.
I think in the last segment we was talking about Addison Hawkins,
right?
And congrats on her for having a great night. But you just like you said, going to have a little bit more balance. If they can get that, they can be tough.
Right.
Maybe
of course, they're going to be playing at home in the district tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Westmoreland gets the win over Macon County on Monday night, 46-35. Now we're going to look at the standings. Of course, Cannon County, they will play at Watertown this Friday night in our DTC game of the week. And then they go to Westmoreland, a team that they beat by 1 point at home. Jeff, that's going to be for all the marbles when they travel up to northern Sumner County.
Exactly. It's going to be a good game, but I think Coach Patrick would like to take the pressure off a little bit of herself if they can beat Watertown and then go into that Westmoreland game to where they're like,
win first, lose second.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, when you look at Smith County and Watertown, which will play that final regular season game, just like Cannon will go to Westmoreland, I don't know that a coach would have a preference if you're first or second on if you'd rather play Smith or Watertown. Both have struggled offensively at times this year, but we'll just have to wait and see how that all transpires. Because a lot of times it's about matchups when you get to the district tournament. Right,
exactly. And your goal, obviously, you want to win the district because the team you want to stay away from in the region, you want to stay away from York as much as possible.
Yeah, that's definitely not that other teams couldn't beat you, but hands-on or easy so far. York, the defending Class AA runner-up, returned a lot of players, and they've been playing good basketball, a really, really tough schedule. I look for them to come out of District 5 AA pretty easily because most of the games they played this year have been really one-sided. Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage scoreboard as far as the District 6 AA boys. Smith County goes on the road last Friday night at Woodbury and wins 56-49. Westmoreland in a close one at home over Watertown by 4. When you look at Coach Honeycutt and his team, I don't think just because they're sitting there and hadn't won a district game, people are going to say, that's who I want in the district tournament, because they have played a lot of people close.
Yeah, they have, and they're going to be they're going to be dangerous come district time. Watertown slowing it down. You mentioned that Westmoreland doesn't mind that kind of a pace. So this these two teams next time they play each other, it could be interesting.
Could be. On Monday night, Smith County goes to DeKalb and gets the 12-point win, and then Westmoreland gets the big win over Macon County, who continues to struggle on the offensive end. Looking at the standings out of the 6AA, you've got Westmoreland and Smith County. Huge game, Jeff, on Friday night over at Bill Landry Gym in Carthage, as Westmoreland, who won 63-54 in Westmoreland just a couple weeks ago, they'll turn around and play the Owls at home. The Owls have played better. They've got a couple of wins in a row at Cannon and at DeKalb. It should be a great matchup.
It should be, and of course Smith would like to get that win, and then they can clinch outright by winning against Watertown. All Westmoreland needs is one win.
They get a win, and then of course they've still got Cannon County left and Watertown. So, you know, when you look at Westmoreland and Watertown and Smith and Cannon, you know, I don't know that there is a clear-cut leader, and I don't know that there is definitely a fourth place team that you could just say, hey, we can beat easily.
Yeah, and when we were talking, just a second ago, right here, even though you look at these overall records, Westmoreland's 19-6, everybody else is below 500, but look at what Watertown did with Westmoreland. Only lost by 4 points. Tournament could be a little
right at Westmoreland.
At Westmoreland.
Let's go ahead and look at the Sonica Carthage District 7AA girls scoreboard. Upland gets a big win over Macon. Livingston gets the win over DeKalb. That was a very close game. At halftime, DeKalb might even led by a point or two. They did half, and Livingston gets a big second half. Of course, Livingston still ranked in the state. We'll get to that when we get to the standings in a minute. White County, a big win over Stone Memorial, and Cumberland County gets the win over Pickett County.
White County game, Stone had a 7-point lead at the half. But I don't know what Coach Dodgman said at halftime. They came out, outscored them 43-16 in the second half to get a 20-point victory. A little bit of a scare by the.
He might want to bottle that and save that for later, for sure. Let's go ahead and look at some more scores from Monday night. Westmoreland gets the win at Macon County, 46-35. DeKalb a win over Smith, and then Warren County in overtime beats White County 61-59.
Yeah, and that was a game that, White County trailed by 1, fouled 1.7, had a chance to drain 2 free throws to win, only got 1 of 2. It goes to overtime. Gracie Clark just misses a chance to put them into double overtime, but Warren County, give Warren County a lot of credit. They're playing good. They're 18-7 under Anthony Lippy.
DeKalb County at Macon County was postponed. They'll be playing February the 2nd. Then Upland gets a big win over Stone Memorial. And then Livingston in a close one once again wins it 38-36. Coach Riddle still continuing to have those Lady Wildcats rolling.
And I thought that, even though the game was at Livingston, I thought Cumberland might have a chance to maybe go on the road and pull an upset, give Livingston a loss. But now, we'll look at the standings here in just a second. But Cumberland County almost getting the upset.
Let's go ahead and look at the standings, and you look, Livingston's got that 2-game lead over Upman. Of course, those two teams are going to meet here in Livingston. I believe that's coming up Friday night, if I remember right. Both of them are 22-3, but Livingston with a win would win the regular season championship, and then 2, 3, and 4 not settled yet because you've got one game separating Upperman, Cumberland County, and White County.
Yeah, exactly. I think Livingston, they got the inside track to be the number 1 seed in the tournament. But yeah, as you said, White County split with Upperman, and the situation here for White County, they could get DeKalb in the first round of the tournament, or they could get a Macon. They still got a shot at getting the 3 spot. They'll play Cumberland County next Friday, but not out of the realm of trying to get that number 2 spot. They just need a win over Livingston, and if Upperman can get a loss, I think White County could get that too.
Of course, DeKalb County is going to be, looks like 5th. You got Macon County and Stone sitting there at 6th and 7th. Those bottom 3 are definitely going to have to go on the road at number 2, 3, and 4. And that's always tough because, they're not going to have just satellite games this year for the first round. It's going to be higher seed hosting the entire time in District 7 AAA.
Yeah, not going to, and that's the thing. Usually, top the 2, 3, 4s get to host, and then you go to Tennessee Tech. That's not possible this year. So they agreed that the top seeds get to host, and then right now it's looking like Livingston on one side, Stone on the other. And I know we'll talk about the boys here in a second.
When you think of that does make the regular season, to me, worth more. And I like that because, regular season is long, especially when you're playing 12 games, which is what they have. And you should be rewarded, I feel like, if you wind up with the number 1 seed or 2 or 3, or 4 in order to host. But when you look, still 4 teams in the top 10 in the state. Livingston number 2, Upperman 3, Cumberland County 7, and White County 9. That speaks volumes.
Yeah, and it just goes to show when you look at that top 4 right there, when they go on, that means that only 2 of them can get to the 7th seed.
That's right. Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage boys scoreboard. Upperman big over Macon County by 54. DeKalb gets a win over Livingston at DeKalb last Friday night. Heckle Jekyll, I don't know other way to put it. Which DeKalb team are we going to see under first-year head coach Joey Agee? They played extremely well. Of course, they had Elisha Ramos was out. They had a freshman kid to step in there, Mr. Hendricks, and played well for him. So, can DeKalb play the rest of the year like they did in this game?
Here's the scary thing about DeKalb. And if Connor Close is on, they're tough. But DeKalb is one of those teams you don't want to draw in the first round of the tournament, because if they're going to go on the road somewhere, but it's not going to be a gimme.
Stone Memorial gets a big win over White County. Of course, Stone's the number 1 team in the state of Tennessee. Pickett County gets a big win over Cumberland County boys.
That game, Stone and White County did well. Stone was better. They shot 60% for the game from the field.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at more scores. Sonic of Carthage bringing you those on Monday night. Westmoreland goes to Lafayette, wins 54-28. Then Smith gets the win over DeKalb. White County gets a narrow win over Danny Fish's Warren County.
That was a back and forth game right there between White County and Warren County. It took free throws. Warren County had a shot at the end to win it, but fell short. And White County's able to come away with a road victory.
On Tuesday night, DeKalb at Macon was postponed to be playing later in the week. I guess, when you look at that, you got to make those up quick because you got to get the district tournament seeding set. Stone Memorial gets the win over Upperman by 13, and Livingston a big win over Cumberland County.
How about that Stone Upperman game? 4 minutes to go. It was a 1-point game. Stone goes on a 12-0 run to win.
Let's go ahead and look at the standing. Stone sitting there on top, number 2 in the state, Livingston number 5. Then you've got Upperman, you've got White County, who has swept DeKalb. So in all likelihood, boys, White County will be hosting DeKalb in the first round of the District 7 AAA tournament.
And that's one of those, like I told you, DeKalb going on the road. DeKalb's a scary team to play, and it looks like the Warriors, unless they can get some help, it looks like it's going to be Sparta hosting DeKalb.
Of course, DeKalb had the 17-point lead at home to White County. White County comes back and wins that game. We'll have a look at the upcoming games for all our districts when we return, as we'll remind you you're watching the box score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with 1 truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Here's normal internet speed. Here's the gig difference. Average speed, gig. Not enough speed, gig speed. With gig internet from DTC, everything's different. Video streaming is a breeze. Music and photos fly. And gaming gets real with no data limits. That's the gig difference. Call or visit DTC online and get your gig today.
You're with head coach of Smith County High School, Trey Sanders, the boys, and coach, I know you got to be thrilled going to Cannon County and getting a big win, and then going to DeKalb on Monday night. That's two tough places to get victories. Of course, that Cannon win was pretty special. In fact, that sweeps the season series and doesn't lock you into first or second, but gives you a great jump on getting first or second place.
Well, it does, and you know we played a little bit better here since the Christmas break, and but yeah, going into both of those schools, those gyms they're fun gyms to be in. I mean, it's loud, it's good atmosphere to play in, and for us to be able to pull out those victories the way we did was huge for us, and just building confidence, moving forward. We didn't start off well at all at Cannon, but And I felt like we should have been able to do a little bit more. We left some points off the board in the second half by just missing some easy shots and opportunities. But we didn't fold, we didn't collapse, and we figured out a way to win that game. So I'm real proud of the guys right now, the way they're playing.
Coach, you got behind 24-10 in that ball game, and on the road. But I guess it's halfway through the second quarter. You go to a little 2-2-1 trap. And Venus flytrap, I guess you would say, Mr. Clayton Rigsby comes through big. He gets 6 steals for you in that game and really turned your press, turned the momentum of that game in your favor. You got it back to a 2 or 3 point game at halftime, and then the second half was continually to be successful in that press, which is something the Owls have not done a lot this year.
Yeah, we kind of, it's one of those things we try to pick and choose, when that we can. At one time, we were hoping that we were going to be able to probably play like maybe around 9 or 10 guys and really press a lot and trap a lot. But, it seems like that we've had to do those things kind of when we've been down a little bit, because it's just one of those things that it just takes a lot of energy out of you to do that the whole game. So that was a point, though, that it was one of those things we were kind of desperate at that point. Went down the way that we were, and we were able to come back like that. And like you said, Clayton played well on top of that press and was able to get some easy steals, convert to easy baskets, and did cut that lead going into half to where, at one point where we were down, like I said, around 14, we cut it back to about a 4-point game. Only, though, to start the third quarter a little slow, they pushed it back out to about a 7-point game and kind of stayed there for a little bit until we, made a run late. But, no doubt that's helped us. Those are things that we have been working on. a lot as far as half traps go and just trapping out of our man and trying to double the ball a little bit more. Just kind of, use it to kind of keeps teams off balance from time to time.
Coach, coming in, I know you're a little under 500 for the year, but you're at a point now to where you could wrap up the regular season title. You're playing some good ball now. This is the time when you want to be peaking, and I'm sure you're proud of the guys having a good January and hoping to extend this into February.
Oh, no doubt. We like I said, it's been a struggle to get back to the 500 mark, and we're hoping we can get to that, by season's end, and just keep playing good ball moving forward. It's one of those things to where that, again, at the start of the season, we had a lot of guys injured from football and weren't really ready to help us out, not until we got to, almost the Christmas break. And with that now, though, I mean, it's turned around the way that we're playing. We're building that confidence again, that kind of like that we had from last year, and figuring out how to win these closer games. And even the games that we lost. I mean, we lost the game to Livingston, in which that I felt like we played well, shot the ball well. They just shot the ball a little bit better. They're a good team, and those types of games, playing the Livingston, playing the Cab. I think one of the things that we've talked about going into that DeKalb game is how this is a good game to help to prepare us for Friday night's game with Westmoreland. I mean, the Cavs comparable in size as far as they got some big boys inside, and Westmoreland does too. And so it's gonna. I think it's gonna help us to prepare in everything that we've been doing in today's practice and yesterday for Friday night's contest with Westmoreland.
Coach, when you look at your team in the Cannon County game, we'll talk about the Cab game next, but in that Cannon game, Coach, once you got the lead in the second half, you kind of spread the floor. And when I talk about Matthew Sinclair, does he pull all the right buttons or touch all the right buttons or what? He just dominated that game with his dribbling ability, and then pulling up in the lane and hitting a short jumper or finding one of your bigs for a layup. And it allowed you to stretch that lead to where you were comfortable in the final minute, knowing that, hey, if we hit a few free throws here, we're going to come out here with our 8, 10, 12-point victory.
Right. And that's one of the things that he's been doing a lot better job of, as the season's progressed, understanding and seeing situations. Sometimes even though, we got some seniors on the floor, they just get caught up in the game too much and don't really recognize situations. But that's one of the things that Matthew's been doing a lot better job of, is just being able to handle the ball for us. Early on, he had to come out of the game. I guess it was, can't remember now. I'm thinking back. It was the Westmoreland game. Last time when we played at Westmoreland, he picked up 2 quick fouls, and he had to come out of the game, and it changed a lot of what we were able to do. Since that time, some of the teams that we've played, like with Watertown and Cannon, they're trying to take him out of the equation a little bit, trying to deny him the ball and not let us be able to run the ball through him. And same thing with Taylor Dickerson. The teams have been just pretty much face guarding him and not having any help responsibility. So we've tried to go with more of a 5-out look and the 4-out look the last game or two here, in which that we're trying to spread the floor a little bit more and give other guys, especially Clayton Riggs, the opportunities to try to get to the basket. He can get to the basket, and if he can just learn to finish a little bit more, which one of the things we've talked about with him is just trying to make sure that he's squaring up to the basket on his shots and being able to finish and being able to draw fouls. You're not going to be able to draw fouls when you're turned and shying away from it. And so, it all starts with Matthew, though, with him handling the ball for us and just running our offense and just being a leader out there on the floor.
Coach, when you look at the DeKalb County game, a game that you jumped out early, you played well. Taylor Lane gets 3 threes in a row for you there in the first quarter, get you out to a good lead. I thought, as far as offensive performance and getting the shots that you wanted, you did a great job with that, or your team did. And defensively, they're a tough bunch to guard. I mean, you look at a lot of people that are 6'1" to 6'4" throughout their starting lineup. Connor Close, of course, a dynamic player, held to only 6 of 21 shooting for the game. He's got the ability to get 25 or 30 every night. He's just that good. But I thought defensively you were solid, and you're only up one at the break because Stetson Agee hit a couple of big threes where they had been 0 for up to that point before he made those.
Right, and that's one of the things that that we went, going into that game, we said we've got to stop Close. We've got to slow him down. Other guys are they're going to pick up points too as well. But for us to be successful, we've got to slow him down. And with that comes Bryce Curry, because Bryce Curry, and Terry, if you've noticed, a lot of times he usually draws the best offensive player, regardless of what the matchup's going to be. He's going to draw the best player for the simple fact that he can be more physical with them. And if that's one of the things that we can kind of try to do, to be physical a little bit, get into their head, kind of get them off their game somewhat, then that's a win for us. And that we feel like that gives us a couple extra points, either by taking some away from that player or by giving us that opportunity to be able to score a little bit as well. So. For us to be able to do that, I thought that Bryce did a good job on him, and then Bryce picked up 2 fouls. Tristan had to come in, and Tristan Washer had to come in and guard him, and he did a good job as well. And because of that too, we were able to, like you said, early on we got off, made some big shots with Taylor Lane, and that all came from us just trying to spread the floor a little bit more, just work on that 5-out, read and react to what the defense is giving you, and I thought it opened us up for some good perimeter shots, but then also allowed us opportunities to get to the basket.
Coach, big game at home coming up Friday night with Westmoreland. I know you didn't get the outcome last time. Westmoreland got it by 9, but a win coming up Friday night and a win against Watertown next week. You can clinch the number 1 seed outright. Any nerves or nervousness knowing that if you get it, you can kind of control that number 1 and either stay away from York or Jackson County?
Well, that's. When you look at those types of things, which I know York and Jackson County, they're getting ready to play tomorrow night and Friday night. They have to play back to back where they had to cancel a game, and so that'll be pretty rough, physical on both of their games as far as wearing them down. But you're going to play good people when you get to that point. We want to try to go in and obviously be in that championship game. We host the tournament here at our place this year, which is big. And if we can go in to that as the 1 or the 2, we want to get the 1 spot. But if we can go into that and then get into that championship game, that would be big, because then that would allow us that opportunity probably, to get Monterey or Bledsoe on the other side, which again, we like our chances in those games, and we like our chances against Jackson County and York. York is playing extremely well right now. Jackson County is too as well, and they got a Arroyo kid back playing for them, big kid inside. So, you get to that point, in which kind of like what we were in last year. You're going to play good teams, and you have to bring your A game every time. We have to minimize mistakes on our end and just really focus on what we do and try to do it as best that we can. Other teams are going to be, they're going to be what they are. And it's kind of like I tell the guys, I said, we know certain teams have certain players that you have to try to slow down and stop to a certain point. But ultimately, it just comes down to us doing what we do and do it right. And if we can do those things, then, we like our chances.
Coach, when you look at the DeKalb County game, second half, I thought Taylor Lane Dickerson, of course, he scored the final 12 points of that third quarter for you, one of those being a 4-point play. But you got down by 5 there, and the crowd is really rocking and rolling. You got down 5, but then you respond with a 13-0 run where you really played great basketball on both ends of the floor.
Well, and it is. It's one of those things to where I told him at halftime, because we had started the game so well, and we're notorious for usually not starting as well as we did, but it's a whole lot easier to play ahead than it is to play behind. And so I told them at halftime, I said, yeah, it's a game of runs, guys. I said, we had ours at the start. They made a push right there right before halftime. I said, we need to come out and be the aggressor again on the offensive side and get a jump on them. Like you said, it didn't quite happen that way. We fell down early, but, and I just told the guys, I said, just calm down, stay within ourselves. Don't try to do too much. I said, we'll get our opportunities. Just like what we've had through the first half. And we were able to take advantage of that. We were just able to make shots and we shot the ball well. Shot selection's a lot of it. Of course, for us, we're pretty balanced in our shots. We, looking back at that game, we took 23 threes and 23 twos. So we're pretty balanced in what we do. Everybody knows we're going to shoot a lot of threes, but just a lot of times not rushing those shots. And I tell the guys, I said, a quick rush shot, a bad shot, I said, that's a turnover. So, we were able, I thought that we were able to take good looks, take advantage of what it was they gave us. When we spread the floor, then late too in the fourth quarter, Matthew was able to penetrate, get inside, make some easy shots, make some passes, and we were able to attack the glass a lot better.
Well, Coach Trey Sanders, we appreciate you visiting us. I know that the Owls, once again, are poised to make a postseason run. You lost last year in a close one to Jackson County in the region semis over at Watertown, trying to get back to the sub-state for the first time since 1991. It's been a 32-year drought, and although this Owl team feels like, they're putting the pieces together and playing their best basketball and hoping to achieve that goal.
Well, thank you, Terry. Yeah, that's and you say that, and it's funny because that's what we talked about today at the end of practice, about just having that opportunity to get back to where we were last year and take advantage of that. Said that we've got that opportunity to probably end up falling into line and playing Jackson County again in the region semis, provided that we do what we're supposed to do on our end. But thank you. Appreciate talking with you guys.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you and the Owls. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more. We've been visiting with Trey Sanders of the Smith County Owls, and we'll be back for more Box Score brought to you by Carthage Safeway right after this break.
Do you ever worry about the safety of your home when you leave? Or at night while you're sleeping? Then give your home a professional security makeover with help from DTC Security.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation. Don't put off this important decision.
Contact us and start your home's DTC Security makeover today.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Near Star Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Near Star Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
And welcome back to the Box Score. Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins and Justin Malden doing all the hard work behind the scenes. We appreciate him doing what he does. Just getting all these graphics together, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it does. I mean, kudos to to Justin. He makes our job a little easier to where all we have to do is just sit here and just
read them
just read it off and just talk to the viewers.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at the District 7A upcoming games. A lot of those big district games, and none no bigger than the Gordonsville-Clay County boys game at Clay County. Clay County girls can wrap up the regular season championship. So can the boys if they get a couple wins. And Clay County playing in Salina is always tough.
Yeah, it is, and what a feather in the cap for the Gordonsville boys if they can get a victory, and would love to see the Gordonsville girls. Can they go there and get a win, get an upset on the road just before the regular season ends?
Big district game, Pickett County and Clark Range girls, because that could determine exactly where people finish, either second, third, or fourth. And that's coming up on Friday night. Charleston County is at Red Boiling Springs, and then Clay County at Clark Range. A game on the girls' side on Saturday that, Clay County may have already wrapped up the district crown, but if they hadn't, they're having to go to Fentress County and play at one of the storied venues in the Upper Cumberland. Lamar Rogers with over 1,300 wins in his career, going into the National High School Federation Hall of Fame. Going to Clark Range, I don't know how to be in there on Saturday night, but used to, you walk in there, it was 85 degrees and you were gasping for breath. That's one of the fun things about a lot of these games in the Upper Cumberland. You're going to historic places that have a ton of tradition.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Clay County would love to just more than just wrap up and get that win against Gordonsville. Gordonsville, I know, would like to, kind of slay a giant, put a little pressure on Clay County to where they got to go on the road
and win at Clark Range.
To win at Clark Range.
Of course, that's the top seed Clay County boys against Clark Range, who struggled again this year. Of course, them and Red Boiling battling out to see who will be fourth, who will be fifth. But they're going to play each other in the first round of the district tournament. It's just a matter of where that game, and it'll probably be determined by coin toss, unless they upset the first, second, or third team, which is Gordonsville, Clay County, or Pickett County. Let's go ahead and look at some other games coming up. Clark Range at Van Buren County. Of course, Van Buren County, they're a tough foe. A team that they could see, at least as Clark Range girls, could see in the sub-state if they can make that, because Van Buren County's sitting there. I think they're in District 6A. Of course, District 7A goes to District 8A, which is Joe Burns. Charleston County is leading District 8A right now, and a lot of the teams from 7A have played Charleston County and had some success, so we'll just have to see how that breaks out. Pickett County at Gordonsville, that's a big one on the boys' side. Gordonsville trying to hold on to that number 2 spot. Gordonsville's already went to Pickett County and got a big win by 15, 16 points. Brody Sykes about 28 points in the first matchup. Can Gordonsville kick it in and use their post? Pickett County's a bunch of guards. We'll just have to see how that works out. And Gordonsville girls play Pickett, close at Pickett. Can they break their long losing streak and get a win over the Lady Bobcats, who right now could finish fourth in that district very easily?
Yeah, they could, and they could drop down below Red Boiling Springs. So, this is a good test.
Pickett and Gordonsville girls could meet in that opening round of the district tournament at Jackson County on Tuesday, February the 14th, exactly 1 week later at 6 o'clock. That could be your 4 or 5 matchup. Of course, you got to get these games in and see what happens. Clay County at Jackson County, that's always a big rivalry. They're only separated there, 20 miles maybe, and it's always been a big ball game. Jackson County girls have struggled. They did get the win over Gordonsville on Monday night, and Clay County continued to try to, with Matt Walker, get on a roll as they get to the tournament. They've been solid all year. They're ranked in the top 10 of the state. You got Clark Range going to Stone Memorial. I don't think that boys game will be very close, but Clark Range and Stone girls could be a good matchup.
It could be, and before you got Mike Butt versus Lamar Rogers, and that's usually a clash right there. But I think Clark Range may have this one
right,
no problem.
Red Boiling Springs at Van Buren County, which is a trip to Spencer. Teams that used to be in the same district and at one time in the same region. So Red Boiling Springs, girls had a good year. Started off great, but still, they do what they do and they do it so well. Of course, they're under first-year head coach Tara Pryor. I look for Red Boiling Springs. Girls at least to go up there and maybe get a win over Van Buren County.
Yeah, but it's tough to play on the mountain up there.
It's tough to go to Spencer and get a win. You're exactly right. Let's go ahead and look at some more upcoming games. A big one for the boys side, Westmoreland at Smith County, a battle for first place, and then Cannon County at Watertown on DTC Sports. And I've got a special treat for you. I'll be working that game. And we've got Watertown principal Darren Brown that's going to help us in that game. My only problem is I'm afraid I'll ask Darren a question at the end of the first quarter, and I'm just hoping to get it back by the end of the quarter and tell everybody the score. And of course, you'll be able to see the game, which is good. But Darren, a good friend of mine, his only drawback, I guess, he's a big Kentucky fan. Used to be from there. But it should be a treat. I'm looking forward to working with Mr. Brown, the principal at Watertown, during that game. On Monday night, you got Franklin Classical going to Westmoreland, and then you got Trouser County going to Watertown. Of course, that's always been a big matchup in football, and I'm looking for some two pretty good games as far as the boys go.
I think so too. You got Watertown who likes to slow it down. Trousdale, they're up 50s and 60s. Can they handle that type of slowdown game?
7 AAA upcoming games. Or 6 AA, Tuesday night, we've got Trouser County at Smith County. That'll be a senior night for the Owls, their final home game as far as the regular season. Of course, they do host the tournament, and then Cannon County making the long trip to Meigs County to face off against them. Now let's look at the District 7 AAA games. Macon County at DeKalb County on Thursday night, and on Friday night, Macon at Stone, Livingston at White County. That Livingston at White County should be 2 great ball games.
No doubt about that. And I know the Warriorettes would like to try and get some revenge and possibly get to move up in the standings later.
Cumberland County at Upland. Other games coming up on Tuesday night, DeKalb at Cumberland County, Clark Range at Stone Memorial, Upperman at Livingston, another big ball game there. Livingston squeaked out 2 close wins at Upperman in the girls and boys, and then Macon County at White County. Our featured game, we talked about it, Cannon County at Watertown on Tuesday, February 7th, Thursday, February 9th, and Friday, February 10th at 7 p.m., and Wednesday, February 8th at 1 p.m. For Justin Malden and Jeff Barnes, I'm Terry Collins. Good night on the Box Score.